Welcome back to Mass Effect 3. JC here. Codex time. Yes! There is a primary Codex entry I screwed up last episode. So I'm going to let the only primary entry, I'm going to let Talkie out to do his bit. And then there's secondary entries blinking there, and I bet you it's more than one. Which means for the first time for a while, I have to do more talking than he does.
Thresher moths are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the Earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
I think we've heard that one before, but it means I don't have to do any talking. Oh my god! My life. Just... what is it this time? It's culture one, isn't it? Nope. Oh, it's the Unification Wars. Orions, the Unification War! I think... I think we've read that one. Slang term for politicians. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I do seem to remember going through this one. Krogan military doctrine. Hit it harder. I don't seem to remember this one. So, let's do it. Traditional Krogan tactics were built on attritional mass unit warfare. Equipped with cheap, rugged gear, troop formations were powerful but flexible. Command and control was very centralized. Soldiers in the field who saw a target contacted their commanders behind the line to arrange fire support. Since the Genophage, the Krogan can no longer afford the casualties of the old Horde tactics. Battle Masters are a match for any 10 soldiers from another species. To a Battle Master, killing is a science. Of course it is. They focus on developing a clean, brute force economy of motion that exploits their brutal strength to incapacitate enemies with a swift single blow of overwhelming power, because there's no kill like overkill. This change to focus from mass unit warfare to maximal efficiency has increased employment demand in the field of security and muscle for hire. Due to the unsavory reputation of the Krogan, most of these jobs are on the far side of the law. Battle masters are not spit and polish, but they do believe in being well armed and equipped. Of course. Preferably with a gun for each limb. All the guns. They are callous and brutal, but methodical and disciplined. Interesting combo. They use any means at their disposal to achieve their goals, no matter how irrepresentable. Hostage-taking and genocide are acceptable means to ensure a quiet opposition with few Krogan casualties. Eesh. Biotics are rare among the Krogan. Those that exist are viewed with superstition and fear. The Krogan see this aura of fear as a useful quality for an officer, and often promote them. Combat drones and other high-tech equipment are likewise in short supply. Who would have thunk it? What have we got? Of course, because we killed a Phantom in the last which was the thing I very quickly backed away from. You'll see why. Phantoms are agile Cerberus units with a wide array of offensive and defensive capabilities, including particular specializations in evasive maneuvers and firing from cover. And though intelligence on their implants still evades the Alliance, Phantoms are known to be able to create a personal barrier for greater protection. Monomolecular blades and biotic shielding allow Phantoms to engage in close quarters combat, and Phantoms can briefly cloak in order to recover from injuries. Because of this ability, the Alliance recommends personal confrontation. Personal confirmation of a Phantom's death. Because they could just have stealthed and ran. That's the important thing. The monomolecular blades, like all of these higher end enemies, they have a one-hit sync kill. If they choose to employ it, you die. Immaterial of shields, immaterial of how much health you have. Poof, dead. Load from your save. I think Brutes have one. I know Phantoms do. Banshees do. Not sure about Geth units. Don't think they have any. But yeah, it's the higher echelons have. It mostly tends to be close combat, and I'm just going to skewer you with something horrible. Oh, an Otarum, where we went to just now. Well, the previous episode anyway. It's one with the communications array. 16 years ago, the Systems Alliance established the first dish field on Otarum. Defining the tidal disruption and electrical storms that periodically sweep across the planet. The facility has since grown into a critical communications hub for the Alliance. Trade between the Alliance base and nearby human settlements sustain planetary unity, the Alliance also trains and hires colonists to maintain the quantum communicators, further strengthening the bond between locals and the military forces that use the comm stations. Though most of the communication relays serve the military, coalition of it's a painful word to say. We're not going to say it anymore. Businesses have begun construction on a civilian broadcast hub. The local Alliance commander has offered the help of the military's technical experts, making the planet a symbol of civilian and military cooperation. Excuse me. I need a drink. Crikey. There's your long word or complicated word for this session. Grief. Evo! What do you want, Reapers? What is it now? Oh. Harvesting. Lovely! We're just going to polish off with a little bit of harvesting and then vulnerabilities. Yeah, that sounds great, doesn't it? No big complicated words or hard to pronounce words. Even with all the Reaper's power, harvesting every sapient species in an entire galaxy can take decades or even centuries. The most time-consuming part of the process is gathering DNA from the population. To accelerate the efforts, the Reapers follow a consistent procedure. Lovely. Victims who cooperate, surrender, or are captured by husks are sorted into camps. It is believed the husks possess receptors that allow them to analyze the victim's DNA through sight, smell, or touch. Victims that meet their standards are herded from the camps into processor ships. Those the husks deem insufficient are either turned into husks themselves or indoctrinated to serve as slave labour. The Reapers use this last option to give their victims false hope. Many captives who would otherwise fight back become docile when they see members of their own kind yet obey and survive. Yeah. Not for long. The processor ships reduce victims to a transportable liquid. Oh, much like they did on the collector base. Gooey. Like in a slaughterhouse, the ship's design prevents victims from seeing or hearing what happens elsewhere. So they do not panic. The victims are ushered into locking pods. Yep, that rend them apart and dissolve into paste that is flushed into storage vats. Exactly what we saw on the collector base. The rate of killing is phenomenal. Intelligence estimates suggest there are more than 400 processor ships on Earth, killing approximately 1.86 million humans per day. Grim. In combination with battlefield deaths, disease, and famine, this pace will result in the complete depopulation of Earth within a decade. Still takes time, eh? As the husks and indoctrinated slaves build more slaughtering facilities, kill rate can only increase. Oh, joy. Vulnerabilities. Not many. Although clearly technologically superior to the Citadel forces, the Reapers have experienced casualties in the battles across the galaxy. This indicates that, theoretically, with the right intelligence, weapons, and strategy, the Reapers could be defeated. Unlike the Mass Effect relays that they created, Reapers do not have quantum shields. Locking themselves down at a quantum level would leave a Reaper unaware of its surroundings until the shielding deactivates. Instead, Reapers rely on kinetic barriers, just the kind of kinetic barriers that are just plot armor levels of kinetic barriers. In the case of a Reaper capital ship, these kinetic barriers can hold off the firepower of 2 dreadnoughts simultaneously, but 3 clearly causes strain. A fourth and 4 typically results in destruction. 4-to-1. That's assuming while you're pounding away at it, it doesn't obliterate one of them or 2 of them. Weapons designed to maximize heat damage, such as the Thanix series, show better results against the Reapers than pure kinetic impacts. They don't like the hot sauce. The barriers of a Reaper destroyer are less formidable than those of a capital ship. It is possible for a single cruiser or many fighters to disable or demolish a destroyer if they can get within range before they are themselves destroyed. Oh shit, Sherlock. The Reaper's energy sources are not infinite. For example, to land on a planet, a Reaper must substantially reduce its mass. This transfer of power to its Mass Effect generators leaves the Reaper's kinetic barriers at only partial strength. So, if, for example, you could get a Reaper onto the planet and then shoot it with weapons from orbit, so space weaponry, you might kill it. Sovereign was destroyed while assuming direct control over Saren. The feedback from Saren's death seemed to entirely overload Sovereign's shields. Current Reapers do not seem to suffer from this design flaw. I guess Sovereign was around for a little too out of the loop for a little too long. Reaper capital ships can turn faster than Citadel dreadnoughts, but to do so, they must lower their mass to a level unacceptable in combat situations. Consequently, it is possible for a dreadnought to emerge from FTL travel behind a capital ship, then bring its guns to bear faster than the Reaper can return fire. This is a poor tactic, however, against Reapers flying in proper formation, because there's probably just enough of them to just turn and just obliterate you. And there we go. Oh, bonus Codex entries. I was wondering what flashed up on the screen for a second there. Right, there we go. So, on that note, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is JC. Out.